Welcome back, adventurer, to the Crooked Cleric, the finest place for a great ale and a greater tale. You've come on a very special day, my friend. We here at the Crooked Cleric are celebrating the Day of Herbal Remedies with a very special tale. Today, we're wrapping up Drama and Dragons and Souls with Act 4, The Trash Takes Itself Out. Have a seat and enjoy some of our special house herb, and I shall spin you a tale to remember. Or not remember, I suppose. Let us begin. In the following days, Paladin decided to ignore both me and my aasimar. I, the always so silly idiot, didn't really talk with my fiancée about the whole story. I must admit that I kinda felt guilty because I know I'm an adult and I should have handled that situation differently. Plus, she was super busy with her work, and I didn't want to make her worried about trivial matters. I just told her that the session went poorly, and that Paladin was mad at me, and we were both kind of in the wrong. She knows I can be a smartass sometimes, and how much this can irritate people, so she brushed it off, telling me to deal with it as I thought was best suited, and that if I needed her help, I need simply to ask. I wrote him a message saying, "Hi, can we talk about what happened? I'm sorry about my behavior. It wasn't my intention to upset you." But I received no reply. Roughly a week after the session, my fiancée called me during lunch break. Which was weird because she never calls. I got really scared for a moment that something bad might have happened. Even more so when I realized that she was furious. After calling me an asshole, she calmly, kinda like Dumbledore calmly asking Harry if he put his name in the Goblet of Fire, explained to me the situation. Paladin called her, and he told her that I was mad at him because I'm jealous of their relationship. That I got mad about his DMPC because I hate all men, and that I organized this entire elaborate situation so that they would stop talking. Just because I hate him because he's such a good man. That I'm a feminist bitch that can't handle what real masculinity should be and how real men should act. That I called him rude and stupid. Which, for the record, unless he could read my mind during that terrible first session, is also not true. And he then said that I created Thel specifically so that he would copy him, and that his party would leave him as a result. When she was done telling me his side of the story, she asked for mine. She told me that it was hard for her to believe these accusations were true because I have the long game organizations of a squirrel, and because I'm simply not like this. But that at the same time, she could also believe the bit where Paladin told her that I made fun of him, a new DM, with his D&D group. Hence where the asshole was coming from. I'm so glad to have her in my life in all honesty, but let's not change the subject. I told her the same that I'm telling you now. She, as probably you are too, did not laugh at the story. But she was upset that he told her all of these lies. They had a screaming match online that evening, then one in person. Then Paladin told her that she could choose between him and I. What a child. Not that I'm much better for writing the story here, but still. At the end, they made up and are now still friends, but not good ones, because, well, she can't really trust what he tells her anymore. She still hasn't decided if Paladin lied to her willingly to make her break up with me because he doesn't like me, or if he really believed that those things were true. If you ask me, if the choice is between him being a manipulative liar or a delusional sad little man, it doesn't really matter which one is the case, does it? They still hang out, but he's completely cut off from me. I guess that it could become a problem in the long run, but for the moment, I'm just glad that I won't be dealing with his tantrums or his DMPCs anymore. And that is the end of our Just kidding. This is a special episode after all, so why not make it a double feature? I called this one, My Worst DM's Girlfriend at the Table Moment So Far. It all started when I was asked to forego my character's ongoing narrative and 2 other players' intermixed backstories that were about to come to fruition, because of the DM's girlfriend feeling left out. This led to a 3-month deep dive into her character's backstory, which ended up linking her to the BBEG, forcing us into the role of thralls to her will and basically killing anyone or anything that got in her way, including innocents, so that she could prove her loyalty to the BBEG's cause. It was her mother, as it turns out, for a slim opportunity to steal a China doll that DM's girlfriend had left behind as a child, and not, take a swing at killing the BBEG. She played it off as the doll somehow containing the last bit of her mother's soul. What we heard was, "It's the big bad evil guy's phylactery," and promptly destroyed it, expecting to now go back to the main quest that we'd tied our various backstories to. At this point, DM's girlfriend went batshit. She attempted to railroad the entirety of the rest of the game at every opportunity to somehow retrieve and restore this stupid doll. Ask every NPC about it, demand that we take random detours away from the plot, and even going so far as to steal one that vaguely resembled it from the daughter of a duke we were attempting to get on the good side of, and then killing him when he called his guards, in a rage when she worked out that it was not in fact her dolly. Yikes. The worst part was when we found out that none of this was in her backstory in any way, and was actually made up on the fly, without consulting the DM, and she simply expected him to go with it. 3 full months, 10 full sessions, 6 to 8 hours each, unrelated to the plot, because the DM's girlfriend felt that she wasn't the center of attention. A woman that I should add spent more time on her phone and distracting the DM when the focus wasn't involving her than she spent playing. The doll really was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Did I mention that she wanted the doll to get its own character sheet and player levels, and that she should have full control over its actions as well, since, it was her dolly? Yeah. The DM's girlfriend was in her 30s, I should add, and claimed to be a D&D veteran who constantly made mistakes, like adding the wrong modifier to a roll. For example, "But it said on my sheet my modifier is plus 14 to my charisma," when it was pointed out that it should only be a plus 2, or that, in fact, Jack of all trades did not instantly mean she has advantage on every roll. She replied with a, "Whoops, I already re-rolled it, and can't remember what the old roll was." Suffice to say, it got taxing to the point where the entire rest of the table refused to play until it was addressed. She threw a bitch fit, claiming it was unfair that we ganged up on her and that we were just jealous of her and her character, and then she demanded the DM end the game. He did not. They broke it off the very next day, and the character ended up joining Dearest Mummy, and being the last woman standing with her dolly minion as the line of defense before we got to our final confrontation. It was cathartic, to say the least. And that is the end of our tales. Tales of friendship, betrayal, tragedy, and scandal. Did it quench your thirst for entertainment? I knew it would. I've got a knack for this sort of thing. Please join us again next time, and I shall spin you another yarn for the ages. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. Everyone helps. We'll be seeing you.